It's game 2 in the qualifiers for the Leigh Centurions and Hull Kingston Rovers. Leigh are aiming to preserve their Super League status, while Rovers are out to reclaim theirs. Both sides have a victory under their belts already. Another one here today would give the victors a big boost in their quest, while defeat would be a setback. So it is a huge game for the Centurions and for Rovers. This is the qualifiers table as it stands after the one game played so far. Leigh, Warrington, Hull KR and Catalan Dragons all off the mark with a win in their first games, leaving London, Halifax, Widnes and Featherstone Rovers yet to get off the mark. And latest score in Saturday's other qualifiers game, Warrington 6-0 up against the Catalan Dragons in that game between the two sides from Super League's bottom 4, Warrington and the Catalan Dragons. And then on Sunday, coming up, 3 o'clock kickoff at the Shea for Halifax against the Widnes Vikings. A tough one that for the Vikings. And London against Featherstone Rovers is a 3 o'clock kickoff at Ealing Trailfinders. The team news: Leigh Centurions got off the mark with a very professional, very clinical win against Featherstone last weekend, and were hoping to field an unchanged side, but a late problem with Mitch Brown pulling out. So it's McNally at fullback, Matty Dawson, Matty Fleming, Samisoni Langi, Adam Hickson comes in. Then it's Daniel Mortimer, man of the match at Featherstone, alongside Josh Drinkwater. And in the forwards, Anthony Maria, Mickey Hyam, who captains the side, Harrison Hansen, Corey Patterson, Atelier Vey and Lachlan Burr. And then on the bench for the Centurions, Glenn Stewart, Danny Tickle, Liam Hood and Greg Richards. So unchanged on the bench for the coach, Neil Jukes. Now there are changes in this Hull Kingston Rovers side, with Kieran Moss continuing at fullback, Justin Carney. Maurice Blair moves into the centres in the absence of Thomas Minns, who picked up a dead leg in the narrow win over Halifax last time out. So it's Blair and Heffernan in the centres. Ryan Shaw and Matty Marsh and Jamie Ellis continue in the halves. And in the forwards, Lee Jewett, George Lawler, Nick Scruton, Danny Addy. Chris Clarkson comes back into the side, having missed last week, and Ben Kavanagh completes that Hull KR pack. And a change on the bench as well. Sean Lunt is the captain from the bench. James Greenwood is back, just his second appearance in the last 12. Chris Atkin and Mossy Massoy, who's recovered from a slight injury problem, and he takes his place on the bench. And the coach is Tim Sheens. Sun-kissed afternoon now at the Leigh Sports Village. There has been rain around and conditions ideal for topless rugby league viewing here at the Leigh Sports Village. And as ever, the Rovers supporters have travelled in good heart for this one. But they will need a better performance than we have seen in recent weeks from this Hull Kingston Rovers side, because they got through against Halifax by the skin of their teeth last time out. That's a late Nick Scruton try giving them the win. They were beaten by Toulouse and they were beaten by Halifax in the penultimate round of the championship. So it needs to be a big performance from Hull Kingston Rovers here at Leigh, that's for sure. It is a big game here at Leigh Sports Village in the qualifiers as Leigh take on Hull Kingston Rovers, and that place in Super League, the target for these two sides. Okay, there's 5 to go after this, possibly 6 if you're involved in the £1 million game. But even at this stage, John, to get 2 wins under your belt, especially an away win, what a boost that is.
Yeah, of course, and with reference to Hull KR, all the eggs have been put in one basket with Tim Sheens and the recruitment he's made ahead of the 2017 season. They walked through the league and now recruiting again 2 new faces in Chris Atkin, a signing from Swinton, and Mossy Massoy, who's no stranger to viewers of Super League. They'll be looking to go back up at the first attempt. You're making today a victory and a tick in the box for Hull KR. Yeah, it's a massive and would be a massive achievement for them, and really important in the scope of this season.
So the two sides lining up, and in the background the match ball was delivered to the referee Jack Smith by 15-year-old Will Barker, the inspiration for the charity Will's Way. And Will Barker is suffering from a grade 2 benign brain tumour. He is still playing for his local club Stanningley in Leeds, and the charity set up in his name. His parents hoping that it'll help other families in similar situations. There is referee Jack Smith, and the Centurions will go into this game in confident mood after a very capable professional performance against Featherstone last time out. They look very, very businesslike in that performance.
Yeah, they did. One of the main guys, before we get this match underway, Daniel Mortimer, we talked about the recruits from Hull KR. Have a look at the halfback, number 33 shirt. Expect everything to go through this man.
Daniel Mortimer's dad was a Rovers player back in the day. Peter Mortimer made 22 appearances for Rovers in 87-88 season. Well, his son Daniel is now part of this Leigh Centurion side. There he is, Mortimer in 33, up against his father's former club, who are aiming to reclaim their Super League place, while Leigh in their red and white strips out to preserve theirs in this qualifiers series as Lachlan Burr makes good ground for the Centurions. We must be confident going into this game, Phil.
Well, they may be confident, but they're going to have to be very good. They're playing against the side who've had a 6-month pre-season, effectively, to get ready for this game and the 5 that will follow it. The referee says that ball's gone backwards. It's been all about... I mean, everybody expected Hull KR to be in the qualifiers. They've managed to earn the right to be in this place, and now they need to be able to compete at this level.
Drinkwater's kick downfield is retrieved by Rovers fullback Kieran Moss, who had he and two of his teammates had a pretty torrid time at the hands of Halifax last time out. Ben Heaton had a field day for Fax, scoring 4 tries in vain. But Rovers know they'll need to be better here today. They got through by the skin of their teeth in that one.
Well, he's a talented player, is Kieran Moss. He's just sitting in behind the ruck, right of your picture. Signed by Rowan Smith, who came up to the Bradford Bulls in their previous incarnation. And then Tim Sheens has pinched him, gone across to East Yorkshire. Very, very talented player.
Well, Rovers through the boot of Matty Marsh, putting pressure on Greg McNally, and McNally is underneath that. He's chased by Jamie Ellis, once a Centurion Ellis. Kieran Moss, of course, got Rovers off to a flying start against Halifax last week. They were 10-0 up early on, and it looked as though it was going to be plain sailing. Higson plays the ball. He's back in the side. There is no Mitch Brown for Leigh, which is a big loss because he is such a capable, versatile player, Brown. But late withdrawal for Neil Dukes as Harrison Hanson plays the ball about 30 metres out. The boos for another former Rovers player, Corey Patterson, coming from the end of the ground behind him, where the Hull KR supporters are gathered. That is a good kick, and Carney judges that one well. Just a bit too strong from Mickey Hyam.
Yeah, interesting tactic by the two coaches. Leigh have started with their experienced hooker, Mickey Hyam. He's out there at the start. Hull Kingston Rovers and Tim Sheens have opted for a different approach. The man tapping the ball was number 19 at first, George Lawler. They see him fulfil not really a recognised hooker. They're hoping that later on Sean Lunt comes on and maybe causes havoc.
We saw that scoreline from the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Warrington off to a flying start against the Catalan Dragons, 18-0 up already. The Wolves, of course, another of the sides looking to preserve their Super League status.
Some heavy contacts going in the middle of the field. Harrison Hansen come up with a real chest-to-chest effort. The initial battle is going to be down the middle of this ruck.
Here's the hero last week, Nick Scruton, up to the 40 metres line. Now Ellis drops the ball off, and that's the 5th tackle. Two sides just setting into their games as that kick is hoisted, and McNally is again underneath it. The kick from Ellis, McNally there to claim it.
Well, Hull KR will be happy, won't they? Wherever they're kicking the ball, they're forcing Leigh to receive it, start the sets 5 metres or so from their own try line, and it's pretty impressive opening for the Hull KR side.
Samisoni Langi plays the ball, picked up a knock at Featherstone. Has recovered from that to keep his place in the side. The Tongan International Centre for the Centurions. Jewett makes the tackle. And the first penalty of the game goes in favour of the Centurions. Interference, says Jack Smith.
Costly mistake here by Leigh Jewett. They had the tackle completely in control, halfway through a set, releasing some pressure.
Leigh, nothing else. Nothing else.
Lovely afternoon now at the Leigh Sports Village. The rain has moved on. Sun out. Quite a wind though, blustering around this stadium. Great venue. There's Anthony Maria, who's been in fantastic form for the Centurions in recent weeks, plays the ball. Hansen shaped to pass, kept the ball, got the tackle from Jewett it was. Atelier. The former Saint is tackled 20 metres out. Lachlan Burr now, that's the 5th tackle. Drinkwater stabs a little kick in, much too strong.
It's the second time Leigh have kicked the ball over the dead ball line. The referee stopped the clock though. He wants to just check here the late contact on the kicker. Josh Drinkwater's down, he seems to be winded. Is it a shoulder charge from Nick Scruton? On that replay, it looked the way, maybe there's information come through, look, turns his body, hits him in the midriff. Now, most viewers might think there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that's against the rules, and it will be another penalty here to Leigh.
Shoulder charge by Scruton, my opinion.
Touch judges on. The video ref is James Childs.
For a shoulder charge, back on the 10.
And Scruton disappointed with that decision as he tried to close down Josh Drinkwater.
Well, it's a technique thing, isn't it? If he had his arms open in more of a tackling position, I think we'd be looking at a tap on the 20 restart with Hull KR in possession, but now they're under pressure on their own line. 6 players, and Leigh need a score.
It was an innocuous kick from Drinkwater.
Let's go, Mickey!
They've got a second chance.
Yep. Here is Harrison Hansen.
First, move Leigh!
Masses of experience in Hansen. Lachlan Burr.
Shoulder.
Wriggling.
2. Move.
Run from Mortimer.
The timing. Hold. Go. 2. That's okay.
Hyam, short-sided snipe from Mickey Hyam, trying to smuggle the ball over the line, but Rovers have him all wrapped up. Held calls the referee.
Tackle 3. Then timing.
Dealt with that well, did Hull KR.
Give him space, Danny.
Danny Haddy just getting in the way there, told to give him space by James Child. Here is Anthony Maria.
Move!
Jewett went down low to stop his progress. Drinkwater puts another kick in. This one was a better one, but it's swept up at the back.
Andrew Heffernan, the centre, didn't he? He arced around, he anticipated the kick coming into the in-goal area and tried his best but couldn't get back into the field of play. A concerted period now for Leigh. They've gone penalty, goal line dropout, 4 sets in succession. The referee said play on, but at that point you're tackled and they'll have to kick the ball as far as they can and hope that the defence is careful.
Yeah, much better kick this time round from Drinkwater. This was the first. It's not late, but it's a shoulder charge. That was a poor kick. The second one, which has earned the dropout, was a lot better. He's not made the same mistake twice, Drinkwater. The question is now, can they turn this pressure into points on the board?
First.
Anthony Maria, once of the Catalan Dragons, and Toulouse in possession for the Centurions. Now Lachlan Burr.
Surrender! Stand too quick.
So Rovers having to deal with some early pressure here at the Sports Village from the home side. Quick hands, finds Samisoni Langi. Heffernan making the tackle, assisted by Ryan Shaw. Going down that short side again. Hyam is sniping and he's almost through again. The veteran hooker nearly finding a way through. Hansen. Mortimer now. Mortimer gets the pass away. With Fleming. Fleming is still on his feet and he couldn't quite get that ball down. So Dawson finds Mortimer. Mortimer stabs a little kick in, but it's well fielded by Kieran Moss.
Great defence from Hull here. I suppose you'd expect that inside the first 10 minutes. They're fit, they're fresh, and they're enthusiastic to cope with everything that Leigh at them. Kick through, Moss in a perfect position. And now it's starting to get a little bit hotter.
So Maurice Blair plays the ball and Rovers finally have some possession, having to go through a long spell of defence. They've come through it, and now they're trying to get the ball wide. It was forward, was it? The referee seemed to put his whistle to his mouth, but play continues with Shaw. Stepping infield, Ryan Shaw. And eventually he's brought down. Now here's Ellis. Ellis, short ball.
That's the wrong decision as well. It's the wrong decision. He had Maurice Blair and Justin Carney screaming for the kick through.
Hands up, he didn't realise it was the last tackle, and that's a big mistake from a half-back. But what about the skill that Hull care showed? They defended 5 sets, but then shifted the ball. They managed to get on the outside of that compressed Leigh defence. They're a quality team.
Ooh, Matty Fleming felt that one.
Hold, goal 2.
Lee Jewett making his presence felt.
Move! Hold, Ben, hold, goal 3.
Corey Patterson gets to his feet. Once more getting the bird from the Rovers supporters. Hyam gets the pass away. Burr plays the ball 40 metres out. Drinkwater dinks the kick over the top, and fullback Moss is well positioned. No Adam Quinlan for Hull Kingston Rovers, still out injured. One of a number of players missing for them. Mind you, Leigh have got some senior figures missing as well. Ben Crooks, Gareth Hock, 2 of theirs. Hock apparently will not feature again this season. Crooks might make it back.
Gives you an indication of it. The number of people that they've used. Mossy Masoi wears squad number 39, and they've used 37 players this year. Kieran Moss, though, able deputy squad. A couple of tries early on against Halifax last week.
Big, booming, deep kick, and way too deep. That. So the kicking game of both sides hasn't been calibrated sufficiently yet.
Interesting, all the kickers out on the pitch for a long time before the match started, and nearly every kick that went in was inch perfect, ended up on the try line. But when the adrenaline starts to kick in, you recruit more muscle fibres, and they kick that ball a bit harder. It's drifted too quickly over the dead ball line.
Good harassing by Rovers there on Matty Dawson as he took that tap on the 20.
Hold, goal 1.
Still waiting for the first points in this qualifiers match at the Leigh Sports Village. These two sides know each other well. And it's Leigh with Daniel Mortimer up to the halfway line.
Danny, you're not square.
Hyam across the field. Burr gets the pass away. He is Leigh's top offloader, and Drinkwater waited for his time to Hansen. Hansen gets the pass away. Mortimer again. He's turning into something of a hero for these Centurions fans. In support there, Daniel Mortimer. Back-to-back tries for him in the qualifiers now.
There's a grand final winner, is Mortimer, 4 or 5 seasons ago with the Roosters. Came from Cronulla, but this was the other halfback, Drinkwater, that started this, the late offload. Drinkwater has taken his man across, committed his man, Hansen through the gap, and then Mortimer, that's great support play underneath the sticks. It's this second phase play that's caught Hull KR out. Very evenly matched teams in the opening 10 or 12 minutes. But Drinkwater just asked Hansen to push through the gap on his inside. And he's committed Moss and Mortimer underneath the posts.
He got the first try against Featherstone Rovers last week after 3 minutes. He's got the first try of this game at the Leigh Sports Village against Hull Kingston Rovers as Daniel Mortimer and Josh Drinkwater, who had a very profitable day at Featherstone. He got a try and 5 goals against Rovers with the conversion bang in front of the post. Should add to his tally for the season. And Leigh ahead by 6 points to 0 against Hull KR.
Well, lots of people think it's the long passes in rugby that causes trouble, but more often than not it's the short ones. And you just look at what Josh Drinkwater does here. It's a 1 metre pass there to Harrison Hansen in between 2 defenders, and then a simple 2v1 which Mortimer is patient enough and well, it's easily qualified there to score that and give the Leigh side the first 6 points.
Keep working with us, Chris. Just keep working.
Neil Jukes will be delighted with the form that Daniel Mortimer, his recruit for this phase of the season, has had on the side. Just his 5th appearance.
All stay lads, make sure.
2 tries already. He has that touch of class about him.
He's a 4th partner, really, isn't it, that Drinkwater's had when you look at Hampshire, Roberts. They've also had Martin Ridyard, I suppose, at the start of the season. And finally, it's been 4th time lucky in terms of try scoring here now in the big one today.
Here is Adam Higson, has had a checkered season. Higson served a 5-game ban for a blatant high tackle earlier in the campaign. Just back after 2 out. Mitch Brown, the missing man.
Hold, Nick. Go.
So here is Hyam. And Hansen again.
Surrender. Stand for. Go.
Mortimer kicks into open field. In between Shaw and Kieran Moss, and 2 of them just seemed to be debating for a while who was going to collect that one.
Great kick. Yeah, we said too many kicks go too far in rugby league, but that one side, he didn't intend to put it anywhere near the dead ball line. He was happy if he could get it between the 20 and the 10. Back to his defence here, and now we see the change by Tim Sheens. He's brought Sean Lunt, the regular hooker, on. He's behind the play. The ball, George Lawler stayed on the field. He plays the ball right now.
Carney, that one went forwards in collision, and the plaudits go to Dawson and Mortimer. Anthony Maria there as well.
Well, the short passes are the dangerous ones if they're soft enough for the man to catch it. He's probably fired a little bit too hard and a little bit too late there. He's already given up on it, Justin Carney. His hands weren't interested by the time the ball arrived near him.
You can see what the tactic is, though. Carney, one of the most devastating runners in any league that we've watched, sticking Justin Carney on Mortimer. The tactic, obviously, you know, it's been in the minds of these guys in the build-up.
This is a worry here now for Hull KR. Possibly their best player this season, Nick Scruton, down on the field. 15 minutes into this game, the physio's on, he's checking that left knee. They need him to get back up.
Tim Sheens will be concerned. We saw him sitting alongside James Webster, his assistant. The thumbs up for the 32-year-old former England international Nick Scruton. Real seasoned campaigner he is. 15 years ago he made his debut in Super League, just up the road in fact at Wigan, did Nick Scruton. As a Leeds player. Now here's Fleming. Hyam, Mortimer, Atelier Vey takes it into the tacklers, 40 metres out. Leigh really dominating this opening phase of the game. 15 minutes gone, they lead by 6 points to 0. Addy protesting that he was caught in the tackle there, couldn't get out of it. Hansen, another real warrior. He's missed only 2 games this year as Harrison Hansen, which is pretty good considering the the physicality of his game. Hyam, Anthony Maria couldn't keep possession. The ball spilled. Lunt picks it up. First knock on.
That's a really important defence there from Hull KR. You know, the Leigh side have had twice as much possession as the visitors. You'd expect them to look the better side. They've looked fresh. They've had opportunities to attack, been near the try line, but they've only got over it once. And Carney now is hoping to try and start a Hull KR fight back.
Hansen has got a bang in the face there, and to rub salt in his wounds, the penalty's been conceded, not by him.
You got a head injury, that's all, Jamie. Yeah.
Lachlan Burr, isn't it, the man who dives on late? The referee said the tackle was already completed. You've interfered, you've slowed play down, and eventually I think we're going to see the experienced back row. He's around the back of that area, isn't it?
Ooh. All right, H.
That's a double whammy, isn't it? You can see, give the penalty away and
injure one of your own teammates. Yeah.
Just wait, Jamie. See what he's doing.
Yeah, experienced and he's tough. He's Harrison Hansen, but it's just the pressure release that Hull KR needed. Feeling right, you're right when you say it's twice the possession, and therefore it's twice the questions asked as well of Hull KR. Now they've been in the main able to answer those, but that will begin to tell as this match wears on and fatigue amongst these players sets in.
24-6 the scoreline at the Hallowell Jones Stadium. Warrington on course for a win there. Catalan struggling in these qualifiers, just managed to beat London last time out. Well, really suffering at the Hallowell Jones. Mossy Masoi is on for Rovers, who are launching their first attack on this Leigh line for quite some time. Now, here's Lawler. That's the fifth tackle, edging closer to that Leigh line. Little grubber kick comes in, it sticks, and the referee says that'll be the turnover. It's stuck under the feet of Matty Marsh.
Great pressure by Hyam, wasn't it? He's got up onto the kicker, he knows what to expect. He's trapped the ball, and it's a turnover. That's a wonderful result for them. And Hull KR had their best set in the game, hadn't they? They'd roll forward, they'd found quick play of the balls, with which Sean Lunt will thrive off the back.
Mossy Masoi there in the tackle. Formidable presence, the former Saints man back in Super League after going back to the NRL.
Goal, that's better, Sean.
That's an impact player.
Play that! Jump to the ball, back to one. Jump to the ball.
Referees wipe the tackle count clean, and Leigh on the attack with Fleming. Skips in field away from the challenge of Maurice Blair, but is eventually brought down. Gets the quick play of the ball. Atelier Vey. Danny Addy comes across to make the tackle. Glenn Stewart now off the bench. Bit of pace in this attack from the Centurions. Harrison Hansen. 4 tackles gone and within sight of those posts now. Mortimer's short pass, but Atelier Vey is brought down. Good defence from Blair and co. That's the 5th tackle. Mortimer kicks cross field. Hickson underneath it, pops the ball back. Patterson fires the pass back in field to Mortimer. Short pass from Mortimer and Lachlan Burr over the top. It's still alive. Patterson, Stewart across the field. Harrison Hansen. Kick across field to Atelier Vey. It's still on the last. It's Fleming. Fleming a little kick ahead, straight into the hands of Justin Carney. Disappointing end to a pretty magical set there.
He was caught in two minds, wasn't he? He was looking at the kick and the options for support back in towards the sticks, and then to compound everything else, Jack Smith sees the man offside and once again relieves the pressure for Hull KR.
It was great rugby league, wasn't it, from both teams? There were invention in attack, commitment to organisation and patience with the defence of Hull KR. The penalty here now, the game has speeded up. Quicker play of the balls, we're going end to end now. We're going to start to see a little bit of fatigue. I think there will be 1 or 2 gaps appear. Nice catch there from Lund, that wasn't easy.
Oof. Neither was that with Glenn Stewart. Up high, shall we say. Mossy Masoi, but Masoi runs into some solid defence there.
Come on, hold. Go, 2.
Plays the ball on the 40-metre line in his own half. Ellis. Moss
Third.
wriggling
Mickey Blair.
almost up to the halfway
Go,
line.
good work, Mickey.
Ellis once more.
4. Move
Ben
up,
Kavanagh
Blair. Get square,
just
Blair.
inside
Go,
the Leigh
4.
half. Mossy Masoi once again.
5.
That's the 5th
Move.
tackle.
Mickey Hyam. Go 5.
It's with Ellis. So Ellis
Sean in the middle, Sean Lunt.
hoists it. Patterson went in to make the tackle. And Ridyard comfortable underneath that one. Here is Higson now. Higson upended. Rover supporters enjoyed that.
Go, better Chris.
Now they're trying to work this ball away, are these Centurions.
That's a good opportunity this for Hull KR to really apply some pressure of their own. They've done well restricted meetings so far. They're chewing through the tackles of Leigh.
We've just started to see 1 or 2 players start to walk. They've been out there all the time. The coach sending 1 or 2 fresh bodies back on from the subs bench. We'll get to a testing phase. Leigh are kicking earlier in the tackle count than their opponents. That's a great kick to the sideline, although it isn't a 40-20. Just short by about a metre or 2. Good attempt from Josh Drinkwater.
I'll tell you what, it was a bit of a gamble. Justin Carney was more confident than I was. I mean, he was well inside the 40. It's just the bounce of the ball here that would have been the difference between a Hull KR scrum and then lining up in defence again. Very nearly for Josh Drinkwater. It won't be the first time this afternoon he'll attempt something like that.
These two meeting in the qualifiers for the 3rd successive year. The only clubs, in fact, who have featured in all 3 of the qualifier series are Centurions and Hull KR. They played the very first qualifiers game in August 2015, and KR won here 36-26. At the moment they trail by 6 points to 0 and haven't really got into their stride. Spent a lot of this game defending. They've done a pretty good job in that respect. Only the 1 try conceded.
But they won't want to defend against Kieran Moss near to their own try line. You just saw that feat there. He danced through the defenders for 1 or 2 players there. An elusive number 32 for Rovers, and I expect we'll see him cross the line at some point. If not today, certainly in these qualifiers.
Clarkson playing that ball just inside Centurions territory. Here is Lunt now. They come across the field. And now Danny Addy. That's the 5th tackle. Lunt trying to G things up a little bit for his side as Ellis hoists the kick. This one's a better one, but again, Greg McNally back in the side last week after 4 outs.
He's very accomplished under the high ball. His position's good, is Greg McNally. I've seen a couple now, times under the high ball. He looks like he's got all the time in the world. Doesn't look hurried. Very safe presence to have behind you. If you're a Leigh forward, you'd be very confident knowing as that ball went over your head that McNally's got you covered.
Good run from Samisoni Langi there. Then Fleming takes it on up to the halfway line for the Centurions. Hyam, Mortimer cut down. Good defence. Lunt it was.
Hold, go 5.
Hyam dinks the kick over the top behind Carney, and again the wingman having to turn and retrieve it, and then getting away from the first challenge from Dawson, almost getting away from the second.
That's great to see. You don't get many wingers these days who will take on their opponent on the outside. There's too much of a fear of being shunted over the sideline. He backed himself, his power and his pace. Okay, got past 2 players and was eventually pulled down, but I like watching a winger who'll take a risk.
Well, if you had arms like telegraph poles, I think you'd be taking people on the outside. He's one of the strongest guys, pound for pound, in any league.
It'd take a bit to shunt the tank on the flank anyway, wouldn't it? They're on the other flank now with Shaw.
He's offloaded
Smuggles the ball away. Was that a wise thing to do? They've managed to keep possession somehow. That looked like going horribly wrong. And better still, they got the penalty. Offside.
It's a good job as well, Bill, because they look bereft of ideas going forward. Just a rushed offload as we see how they keep the ball in play, but in the lead up to the penalty that's given them another shot here at this Leigh line. I mean, Jamie Ellis and Matty Marsh really need to get their act together, organise this attacking setup.
Now then, the Rovers supporters at that end of the ground trying to lift their side as they have an attacking opportunity. It's been a rarity in this game as Ben Kavanagh plays the ball. Lawler, try scorer against Halifax last week, George Lawler. Lunt, short pass from him, and it's Centurions' turn to scramble in defence, and Lunt going for it, gets the pass away. It's behind Mossy Masoi. Masoi regathers his momentum and almost makes it to the line. Mossy Masoi has got a knock there.
Well, it was Glenn Stewart, I think, the first person who managed to get his arms around one of his legs. Masoi was brought down to the ground, and a few more Leigh players scramble in along here. Look, there is one effort from Stewart. Would have been a massive task for Hyam to stop him on his own from such distance.
I think it was the knee or thigh of Mickey Hyam that Mossy Masoi made contact with.
It was unintentional. I think it was the right knee as he came. It was brave from Hyam. Had to stick himself in the way because that man was gaining some momentum. Just have a look as, yeah, it's the right knee that collects Mossy Masoi flush across the face. He'll be taking some time now.
This is one of those dangerous breaks in play, isn't it, where you sometimes see players' concentration. It's broken because the game has stopped. Can't be the case for Leigh and their supporters here now. They've got to switch back on straight away.
Masoi is able to play the ball. Lunt, now Addy. The ball out wide to Carney. Carney, stumbled as he went for the line, and the chance goes begging. Justin Carney, just for a moment, had the line open for him, but then
he was skirting with the touchline. Matty Dawson didn't know at the time. He had to put himself in the right place. But Justin Carney ultimately, it was Kieran Moss that came round the back that created the extra man. Couldn't take advantage.
That is a let-off for the Centurions. Justin Carney, another one of these recruits for Hull Kingston Rovers to bolster their challenge, to help them reclaim their place in Super League via the qualifiers. Suffered heartbreak, of course, last season at the hands of the Salford Red Devils.
You mentioned all the new players. There's Danny Tickle, certainly not new, that's up his okay. It's been a great decision for Leigh to recruit him to the club. Lived far from the ground, has grown up and became a rugby league player before travelling to other clubs not far from here. Seems to have twisted that right angle.
They don't forget, do they, rugby league supporters? Danny Tickle, once of Hull FC.
Just wonder what Danny Tickle's done here in the tackle. It's the right foot. And there we go. There's your answer. This can be very, very painful. Just opening up the ankle. He gets it trapped underneath Mossy Masoi just there. And that can be very, very painful.
There's a lot of Mossy Masoi to land on your ankle.
Well, there then, taping up the boot.
It's not just the ability to push off that ankle. It's the discomfort you've got to put up with the remainder of time on the field, and then in 13 minutes there's going to be a 15-minute break for half-time, and it won't improve in that period either. So I don't envy Danny Tickle over the next hour and a half.
Half-time at the Hallowell Jones Stadium. Warrington very much in control, on course for their second qualifiers win, 30 points to 6. Catalan could really struggle.
Matty, get your hands out. 5, move Sean. Go, you're not square, George.
Leigh leading by 6 points to 0 in the sunshine here at Leigh Sports Village. And Moss underneath that one. These two Mets in the Challenge Cup earlier in the season, and Rovers won 23 points to 10. A lot of people thought that was the shape of things to come in terms of another meeting in the qualifiers, and here we are.
This is smart from Leigh, though. They're showing the willingness to be patient, getting through the tackles. The kick to end the set last time from Drinkwater they weren't going for a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 result. Just putting it up in the air, good chase, presenting a solid line, They're obviously very comfortable dealing with Hull KR at this area of the field. And look at that, end of the tackle count and inside their own 40. Good job, Leigh.
Leigh in confident mood, looking for a third win in the row. McNally, well, he thought that was going to go all the way into touch, and then it kicked up, so he has to bring it back in field. They beat Salford in the final round of the regular season, and that was an impressive result, nilling the Red Devils. And then they've continued with a very solid performance at Featherstone. Tricky opener to the qualifiers. Now they've lost possession. It was Hickson, I think, who spilled the ball, and KR have it back.
Well, Andrew Heffernan, that right centre, he's seen a little bit of action in defence, hasn't he? But he's picked up this loose ball, drifted across the field, and I think we need to give Hull KR some credit. They haven't played in the regular Super League competition. This is, in theory, a step up from what they've been used to all season, but they certainly look level at this stage.
And they're coming forwards now. They've got tackles in the bag, and they're only about 15 metres or so out with Ellis. Kieran Moss.
Just looks a little disjointed, this attack still. This link-up between Marsh and Ellis and Moss. It's not asking too many questions, or too many of the right questions just yet.
Can they ask some questions here now? Marsh, Addy. Lunt going for it, and will go over. Sean Lunt gets Rovers on the board. And a captain's knock from Sean Lunt.
Well, the chance came from Carney earlier on, that wasn't taken. The forced offload from Hickson, and he'll still be asking himself why, was taken advantage of. Heffernan works it left, and then out of dummy half. There's no better man, is there, for the ball to be in his hands than Sean Lunt. Off the bench today, but the captain and led by example. Twists, turns, great knowledge of where that line is, senses that the markers had overchased and there was space on the inside, and takes full advantage.
Massive experience in the shape of the Cumbrian Sean Lunt. And there he is, just geeing his team up. They're on the board. They've had a pretty tough opening half hour here. They've had to soak up a lot of pressure from the Centurions. They've only conceded the one try, and they've come back with a try of their own, scored by Lunt, and now with Jamie Ellis to convert. Ellis then lining up this conversion. Sorry about the language you might have picked up on our effects mic.
It's one of those tricky kicks, isn't it? You expect them to be nailed here, but he's about 50 metres in from the sideline. There's a lot of wind blowing from the left end of the ground. That's one of the reasons we almost saw a 40-20 kick from Drinkwater. This is difficult to guess where he's going to place the ball.
Well, Jamie Ellis had one season at Leigh, a prolific season it was.
Time back on.
And he's placed that beautifully, just set it off, just seemed to be aiming out to the right, brought it back in.
We had a great view of it as well. As we take one more look at the try, really smart stuff from Sean Lunt. It's that ability to ride the tackle, twist and turn, and take Leigh players over. Yeah, but just going back to Jamie Ellis, started that ball out on that right hand upright, right in line with it in the commentary box behind here, and just drew it in 6 apiece.
Lunt repeating his feat of 2015 when he scored in the qualifiers on this ground. He's a really lively character on and off the field, Sean Lunt. And Rovers level then, 6 points apiece in this qualifiers match. There is Lunt. And Clarkson now. Chris Clarkson has missed the game last week, but back in the side. Heffernan.
This is further evidence, isn't it? Offloads like that from Hickson midway through the set. Heffernan looks to have collected something in the tackle. There is no need for them because Leigh are really coping well. That ball finds its way into touch, the kick from Ellis. Leigh are really coping well with Hull KR in their own area of the field. You would imagine from this...
hang on a minute. Did McNally get a touch to that? Jack Smith has indicated head and feed. There you go, head and feed.
40-20, is this the call here?
Was it?
He's kicked it, seems to be saying so. It was a great kick, wasn't it, to find the sideline. He's back behind the 40, it's clear, isn't it? The shadow may be confused as we couldn't quite see where it's gone over the sideline, but it is. And Hull KR looking to score again.
Well, what an opportunity for Hull KR. Here is Lawler now. Lawler almost forcing his way over the line. Lunt, will he try for a second? Surely not. But they've got to be alert to it. That ball goes forward. Oh, that's a shame.
Tragedy, really, for Hull KR. Been a great set. After scoring points, they got to the other end. They then got it again, and they were so close to going over to perhaps take the lead for the first time in this game. But Leigh are, as you say, a pretty strong side defending their own line. Defended well last week against Featherstone.
The 40-20, it didn't look like one, did it, until the very, very last moment. McNally's looked really cool and calm at the back there, but I don't think he could have seen that and foreseen that coming. Leigh have got away with it.
Well, McNally seemed to leave that in the belief that it was going to be short.
He couldn't quite see, I don't think, where the kick had been taken from, and he wasn't sure that he'd been behind the 40-metre line.
Well, in that case, then, as a fullback, the rule is if you're not sure, you keep the ball in play. But as I said, they've got away with it because of poor execution once again from Hull KR, getting to themselves into the right area of the field, but not making the most of it.
Patterson up to the 40-metre line for relieved Leigh Centurions.
5, move, make the 10, George.
6 points apiece.
Go, 5.
As Drinkwater hoists that kick, that one's in the sunshine.
Surrender.
And Moss is underneath it. Looks very solid, Kieran Moss, this former Penrith and Parramatta junior.
2. Move, come on, Glenn. Hold, go.
Came to Hull Kingston Rovers via the Bradford Bulls, like one or two others did as well.
Surrender.
Danny Addy being one of them there, just about to play the ball. Carney behind.
Oof, Atelier wasn't going to let him cause any damage this time. Carney just looked at the referee, feeling maybe that it was high. Oh, that's a big hit on Lawler.
It was very slow chain passing, wasn't it? If you're critical of Hull KR's play, at times they've passed the ball when they've been too far from their opponents, and sometimes perhaps when they've been too close.
The kick is too strong. Ellis, there's the tackle.
It's Liam Hood who's got in. Great technique, but it was telegraphed as to where the ball was going to go. You're right, Phil. This is the one aspect of Hull KR's play. Ball in hand, they're still not convinced. They're not asked enough questions. Then, as we've seen far too often, giving up territory. Another offside decision. It's Leigh who are getting on the front foot, starting to poke the nose through in the tackle now.
Be a disappointing phase this for Hull KR, because a 40-20 kick, they're in a strong position.
Then
they've knocked it on, and now they've conceded the penalty. Here is Corey Patterson. And Leigh, relieved that the pressure has eased a bit, and able to maybe turn the tables now. Greg Richards came to the club in the closing weeks from St Helens. Short pass. Oh, straight out of play. Did it come off Rover's hand? I think it did. That's what Leigh are claiming.
Lovely hands from McNally. Lovely catch and pass. It's the right hand of Ryan Shaw, or so the referee is saying, and Hickson is imploring the referee. It's a really tough call. That is the call, and Leigh get another shot.
Time off.
Well, they started the first half as the best team, and it looks as though they could well finish it in the same fashion here. Ben Kavanagh receiving more treatment. The game stopped starting a little bit in the last 20.
They've had their opportunities. Maybe this is the difference. With all due respect to the regular rounds of the Championship, you can get through and win games with scratchy attack. Not so now. This has stepped up a level. The qualifiers and the opportunity for a place in Super League, you've got to be a lot more clinical than Hull KR have been in the attack this first half.
Out.
Rovers then, again on the defence, as Hood plays the ball.
Shoulder.
Tickle.
2. Move. Hold. Go. 2.
Hood now. Drinkwater's pass on another Rovers hand.
Well, Ellis
couldn't claim it.
He fancied the interception, didn't he? He wasn't bothered about the tackle. He thought it was an opportunity. Very few players go for the interception. He's a gambler. Referee has ruled a forward pass anyway here, so Hull KR will get possession. The pressure's off them. They've been defending their own line, but it would have been interesting if Ellis had taken it. I'm not sure he would have made it from 80 metres, but one or two speedsters in the Hull KR side would have been quick alongside him.
They had Ryan Shaw on his outside. Now he has got pace. That would have been a foot race. Really interesting to see. You would have had Matty Dawson coming across from the other side of the field.
Bowling, Jamie.
Ifs and buts. Hull KR in possession.
Surrender.
Lunt picks up from the base of the scrum. And Rovers
2.
heading for half-time.
Hold on it.
Level here, 6 points apiece. Here's Maurice Blair.
3rd. Move, Matty. Hold. Go. 3.
Lunt. Addy. Ellis now. Oh, that ball pops up again, and the Rovers attack once more, misfiring. A groan from our left where the Rovers supporters are gathered.
Well, a cheer from the other end where Leigh supporters know they need to get the side ahead here before half-time.
Liam Hood. Atelier had made a run, but Hood takes the tackle. Penalty goes the Centurions' way.
The debate whether or not to kick for the 2 points here. I think that's what Josh Drinkwater's going to do. The sense this is a tight game, whichever way at the end, there won't be much between these two teams. He drew it, talking to his teammates, holding down. Is it him in the tackle again? They got there too late. The referee said no. Slowed down the play of Mortimer. This should take us to the half-time.
Goal line, pal. On goal line. Jamie.
Yeah, I think they're just under, well, just over a minute to go.
Will Rovers
very,
be
very
that
interesting.
disappointed?
Will Hull Kingston Rovers be disappointed? Arguably, yes. I mean, they defended really well. They've missed opportunities there. Neil Dukes, we just saw making his way to the changing rooms. I would imagine he'll be the less pleased of the two coaches.
In terms of the amount of possession they've had. Yeah. Hull KR been living on scraps, really, in this first half.
It has evened itself up a little.
Drinkwater goals that one. 8-6.
Second quarter of the game, Hull KR have had a bit more of the ball, and Leigh will be, I think, a bit happy to themselves here now. Only just are they ahead. Similar to last week when they played at Featherstone and then dominated the second half. They'll be hoping to do that again, but Jamie Ellis knows as he's going to take this kick here. Stop the clock, the referee. 5 seconds to go.
Hull KR, all stay! Yeah, Jamie!
Ellis will restart, and Mortimer, as the hooter sounds.
Hell.
So Leigh will head for the dressing rooms with that narrow 2-point lead. Mortimer giving them the advantage with that try on 12 minutes. 2 goals from Josh Drinkwater, but Sean Lunt leading from the front. A try for his side as Hull Kingston Rovers came back on the half-hour mark. Ellis converted that. 8-6. Not a lot to choose between these two sides in the qualifiers. The Premier League season is back with a bang on Sky Sports, and on Super Sunday you can see Newcastle United against Tottenham, 12:30 on Sky Sports Premier League for that one. And Super Sunday continues with Manchester United against West Ham. That's 3:30. That's on Sky Sports Premier League. Second half to come here in this qualifiers game. And, well, Warrington ahead by 30 points to 12 against the Catalan Dragons in their game. Here at the Leigh Sports Village, much closer contest. Leigh Centurions 8, Hull Kingston Rovers 6. The half-time scoreline. Hull Kingston Rovers having to soak up an awful lot of pressure in that first half.
Yep, pressure which was turned into points by Daniel Mortimer on the 12th minute. Came from an offload here from Lachlan Burr. That's where they caused Hull KR that many problems. Drinkwater back on the inside. Hansen into space, did his job. Drew Moss, the fullback, and Mortimer underneath the sticks, 6-0. Then came a chance to extend that lead as well. Around the 20-minute mark, Leigh showing their ability to keep the ball alive. None of this was chance, so this was all well worked. All in an effort to stretch and bend this Hull KR line. And then once this ball gets out from Atelier Veit to Matty Fleming, he had an option just for a second on the inside to put a kick in. McNally was chasing through, didn't come off.
And it took 25 minutes for Justin Carney to get his first chance, but he stumbled and Leigh scrambled. Suffice to deny him, but a few minutes later, Sean Lunt back at that part of the pitch, managed to roll over, ride through 3 tackles to get their first try. And the only thing that separates the sides at half-time is a penalty for interference conceded by Hull KR and converted by Josh Drinkwater. Great left-footed kicker, 8-6 now to the home team.
So those supporters, Centurions and Hull Kingston Rovers, well, an anxious second half to look forward to, because Rovers, despite coming up with numerous errors, I mean, there's so much to put right for them, really, isn't there? They've coughed up the ball a lot, they've given away penalties, and yet there's only 2 points in it.
Well, that's why if I was a Leigh Centurion supporter, that's not one of them, that's a St Helens supporter. There's Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook on the right. Wife Jess struggling with the children as always. Leave them to it, Louis. Yeah, if you were a Hull KR supporter, you'd be more optimistic, because you're right, they've not got much correcting attack by that barge from Sean Lunt, and yet they're within 2 points of a Leigh Centurion side who've battered that Hull KR line at times with not much luck.
So 8-6 it is at half-time, and these two sides with a win under their belts already in the qualifiers. A second win would be a massive tonic, would set them up well for the rest of this qualifiers campaign. Defeat, especially a home defeat, and you're under a little bit of pressure. So not a lot to choose between these two sides. Hull KR surely can improve in the second half. Another busy weekend of rugby league action to look forward to next weekend. On Thursday from the Super 8s, the Castleford Tigers inching towards that league leaders shield. Wakefield, can they stop their progress? They'll be trying. 7:30 Sky Sports Arena for that. Then on Friday, Leeds Rhinos take on St Helens. Saints looking to get into the top 4. Massive match there. 7:30 Sky Sports Arena. The final match in front of the South Stand before the redevelopment work starts. Next Saturday, double-header in the qualifiers. Warrington take on Halifax, 3:10 on Arena and Sky Sports main event as well. And that is followed by the Catalan Dragons against the Leigh Centurions, 40-36 the last time they met, 5:10 for that on Sky Sports Arena. So big weekend here. Leigh Centurions will be hoping to go into that game with a win under their belts, a second qualifiers win, but they lead here by 8 points to 6 against Hull Kingston Rovers, who will be playing with their supporters again behind them, metaphorically and physically. And always travelling in good numbers. Massive crowd there was for their game against Halifax last week. 7,000 for that opening qualifiers match, and that's what Super League can look forward to if Rovers can regain their place. Great support base. But these players have got a big second half
It's a great start to the second half, isn't it? They've made 10 metres with every carry. That's been a footwork to get them on the roll. And George Lola, you know, an impressive back rower. Started off as the hooker. Isn't the biggest player, but he's been effective for what Hull KR have needed in the first half.
40.
Kick comes downfield and McNally claims Hickson almost
First.
snatched at that.
Oh, Chris, Sean, come on.
That's McNally's style, isn't he? It's very nonchalant, lovely little weighted ball. Not an awful lot of communication between the two of them, telepathic more than anything else. There's some good yardage here from Leigh as well, cut out ball, Fleming on the edge.
36-18 you saw at the Halliwell Jones. Catalan attempting a fight back there. Here is Atelier Vey. Centurions attempting a good start here. Liam Hood. Richards gets the pass away and another knock on. Drinkwater couldn't take the pass.
Well, the pass from the forward to the half-back in rugby league is one that we see most teams play, isn't it? To try and lock in some defenders in the middle of the pitch. It's a more difficult skill than perhaps we appreciate. And twisting and turning your body whilst trying to run straight towards the opposition try line and then deliver an accurate pass to a half-back who's a moving target is one, well, maybe there's not that much wrong with the pass. You'd expect Josh Drinkwater to catch that, John.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, you're right. And it's a good point you make about squaring up the defenders and potentially creating that gap for your halfback and then getting the ball to him. Yeah, a player of Drinkwater's calibre, he'd be disappointed with that. Let Hull KR off the hook there, because they would have liked, and so would the coaching staff, a good early look at this Hull KR line.
Move! Hold, Greg. Hold, go.
Lawler plays the ball. And Moss onto
Timing, Glenn, come on.
Blair.
Again, another example of Hull KR passing the ball, but doing it at a distance from the Leigh defenders, that they were ineffective passes. They didn't commit or draw any defenders, and Leigh just paddled along and then made the tackle out wide.
Marsh. And now this is a good break by Heffernan. Heffernan has got support. If he chooses to use it, it's batted down by McNally.
Penalty, pull back without the ball.
Yeah.
It's a penalty for pulling back an attacker without the ball. It could have been a restarted set. Heffernan does really well to get on the outside of Lange. And you see Kieran Moss is impeded by, I think, is it Corey Patterson?
Oh, that'll endear him to his former followers. But it's a Rovers penalty. And Lawler now.
Move! Hold.
Lunt just surveying the opposition. Again, gets the pass away. Leigh having to respond in defence as Ben Kavanagh takes the pass. Lunt goes down the short side. Quick hands on, and Marsh's pass goes behind Carney. Carney goes down to retrieve it. It's 6 to go, says the referee. There was a Centurions hand in there. The Leigh fans didn't like that. Carney gets to his feet to play the ball up, ending Fleming. Jewett plays the ball, driving towards that line. Quick hands, great hands. That was, I think it was Moss who took a bang for his troubles. He's down on the ground. Ellis, Lunt still going across the field. They could be in at the corner here. Oh, they couldn't get the pass away to Carney.
Maurice Blair didn't seem interested in passing, Bill, did he? He went hard for the line. The kick goes through, but taken by Patterson.
And Corey Patterson so determined to claim that ball, he's left one of his teammates on the ground. I think it was McNally who got flattened.
Good defence, but heartening stuff for Hull KR. They really stretched their opposition there. They had a hand in to prevent a pass going, and then Sammy Soni Lange had to come through on Kieran Moss to stop a more accurate ball. Leigh now working their way.
Yeah, with the player Glenn Stewart, we'd expect a bit more from him. I have so far this season. I've followed his career with great interest and have tremendous admiration for him. But I thought we might have seen a little bit more, perhaps in these qualifiers, and maybe for the Leigh fans, they wanted to see that right now.
The kick, it's in the sun, and it's dealt with by Ryan Shaw. Rovers have it back. Chance to go down to the sidelines and get some half-time news from Angela Powers.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. It's one of those rare occasions where we've got two coaches relatively happy with what they've seen in the first half. Neil Duke says it's like a game of chess, this. They're just waiting for one team to crack. Two teams doing the little things well in a game of high intensity. He's no major concerns about their performance. He says it's just about patience, nerve, and staying focused on executing those set plays well. Tim Sheens, he says a good game so far as well. Happy with their defence, but now they need to wear down this Leigh outfit. No giving away penalties, stay disciplined and concentrate on good completion.
Centurions having to concentrate on good defence at the moment.
Play on.
As Leigh
That's clear, that's clear.
under pressure, and Dawson comes across to claim that kick.
First. Move, come on George, 10 metres.
Really positive passage of play here for Hull KR. They stretch their opponents, they put them under pressure at that end of the field here. It's a really good start to the second half for the visitors.
Samisoni Langi plays the ball. McNally, a cunning run from him and looking for a penalty. Nothing coming from Jack Smith, who tells him to get on his feet. Oh, Tickle
0-0.
tried to offload. He's wiped the tackle count clean there as the referee. There was a hand in. Now here's Greg Richards.
First. Move.
Yeah, a little attempted offload from Danny Tickle, hand in from the Hull KR defender. They go again, delay. Great shot though. That's Danny Addy out of the line, had to take a chance, but it's come off.
Well, Mortimer felt that.
Third. Move. Hold.
Lively start to this second half, but still 8-6 the scoreline. Mortimer chips the kick in. Samisoni Langi is chasing it. Carney is back there to field it, and then turns and launches himself at the Centurions.
Well, they've decided that Daniel Mortimer is the danger man, and they had to close him down immediately. Danny had it all over him as he received the pass from Stewart.
Surrender. Stand. 2. Go.
Rovers then,
Surrender.
with
Stand.
Sean Lunt, who's been on the field since pretty early on in this game, came off the bench. Leigh Jewett now. Jewett, though, feels Glenn Stewart's tackle, that's for sure.
Get square. Hold.
Stewart's
hold,
former club, the Catalan Dragons, trailing at Warrington. As Ellis puts the kick in, he's inside his 40, but that's fielded by McNally and then popped up for Higson. Higson trying to find a gap, but that's a high shot. And that'll do nicely for the Centurion supporters.
Now, full credit to Higson here. He's really fired himself out of a gun. Obviously, the communication between McNally and Higson is good. Straightened up and really asked the question of that Hull KR kick chase. And Heffernan come up stuck, the arms just straight up. And you put that down to the wingman. Really effusive, really energetic praise, and they get 30 metres off the back of it.
Takes them up to their own 40-metre line. And here is Corey Patterson. Got 3 tries in the qualifiers last season, Corey Patterson. Tickle gets the pass away. It's on to Samisoni Langi.
2. Move. Hold. 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 Go. 2.
Atelier, I beg your pardon, plays the ball.
Third. Move, Leigh.
And they're 40 metres out.
Go. 3.
Patterson once more. Langi. Here is McNally now, skipping across field, but hounded down, nowhere for him to go. 4 tackles gone. Jewett is all over him. And Jewett is penalised, and I don't know whether there was some trickery going on there in the tackle. Jewett protesting his innocence.
It's a stupid play. Absolutely stupid by Leigh Jewett. We know that Greg Manal is trapping him in, and hence the reason why the referee didn't penalise him. But then when he got it to his feet, something said by the Leigh players annoyed him to such an extent that he's given him a little slap on the face. He's got to have better control of that of your emotions.
Once you then get out, don't go back in and push him.
Very experienced player, Leigh Jewett. He's played his rugby league all over the world.
You leave it to me, Leigh. I'll speak to him in a bit when he's calmed down, James.
So Jack Smith had seen something. Leave it to me, Leigh. So it's the reaction that did for him. He's played in Wigan, he's played in France with Limoux, he's just back from playing in North Queensland with Townsville, is Leigh Jewett. But that penalty has given Josh Drinkwater the opportunity to maintain his 100% record in this game. The trickiest kick he's faced. It's head on to the posts, and it's on target. Centurions inching their way perhaps to the victory they need.
We saw some low-scoring games in the Super League Super 8s last night, which we suspected was because of the weather conditions. Heavy rain around the northwest in those venues. Great conditions here today. But I think it's the quality of the defence that's kept the scoreline relatively low at this stage, hence the reason why the Centurions have kicked for 2 more points.
Make sure you stay, Leigh.
So just a penalty to show for their efforts in this second half. 10-6. A try apiece in this game. 48-18. Warrington lead the Catalan Dragons now. Leigh travelling to the Catalan Dragons for their next qualifiers game. Warrington facing Halifax. You can see those 2 games on Sky Sports next weekend.
Hold, go, 3.
It was a cracking game when Leigh played Catalan the last time on Sky Sports. That late Julien Busquet try settling it for the Dragons. It's a lot closer here between Hull Kingston Rovers and the Centurions. 10-6 as Mortimer hoists this kick. Carney is underneath it.
It's just down. First.
Gets the ball and then gets the Centurions.
Yep. Safe under the high ball on that occasion, Justin Carney. This is the opportunity for Leigh though. The sense in this, and so are the crowd. Line speed while staying onside. Really now looking to limit Hull KR's metres. Try and put some pressure on Jamie Ellis at the end of this set.
Well, here's the left-sided back row for Hull KR, Danny Addy. The one who's just come on and played on the right, James Greenwood, might be the player who can turn this game. He's been outstanding for them in the past. Comes onto the bench here, back from injury. Hasn't got the ability to get over the try line. He's going to find himself number 12 on his back, down here in the corner, making his first tackle.
Ellis puts the kick in, and McNally judges that one well.
There's a few of those, hasn't there, to Jamie Ellis. The ball just runs and runs on this surface. Very sound surface. McNally will know every inch of it and will know how it plays as well. Matty Dawson fighting in the tackle, trying to get some momentum of their own. It's not the end of the world. It's a 7-tackle set, as we know, but neither side really able to take advantage and get down the end of the field. That's 2 gone already, and look, only made 7 or 8 metres.
Dawson just needed a bit of attention after he'd played the ball there, the far side of the field.
Go, 2, play on.
He picked up a knock in the tackle.
Third.
I want to see a little bit more from Liam Hood. Base of the ruck now. He's at acting half. He's been a distributor and kept a close eye on him since he's come on the field. He's a very elusive runner. Those of you who are watching Castleford and Salford last night, very much in the same mould as Paul McShane.
Little kick over the top, and Leigh will settle for that. Mortimer running the show.
You've got 4 half-backs on the field, scrum half and stand-off they are, and they all kick the ball and do it relatively well. But he stands out because he runs the ball more often than the other 3. He's a threat in possession at running up players, and I think that is one of the things that might help Leigh very much in these qualifiers, to have a half who isn't afraid to get tackled, run at people, take on the defenders, and hopefully create some space for the players outside of him as the match progresses.
Stay stood up, lads, time's off. You've got a head in the back.
Referee calling a halt to proceedings as is it Ryan Shaw getting a bit of a bandage job. Yep. He's all taped up. Has been a bit of a stop-start game. 10-6 the scoreline in favour of the Leigh Centurions.
One. You're not square, Corey. You're okay now.
Maurice Blair plays the ball. Corey Patterson warned away by the referee. Patterson doesn't stay away there.
That's Glenn Stewart again. He makes heavy contact regularly. Gets his shoulder in, arms round.
Oh,
It's not a forward pass. Give me a flag.
Oh, give the credit to the Leigh defence. Spearheaded there by Glenn Stewart.
It's not a forward pass.
Yeah, it looks like a line ball,
What
doesn't it?
credit?
Well, we go with the referee's call. Jack Smith says forward, so it's forward.
How can we ever get any advantage line running in this country? When anytime we get it, we have to say, oh, it's a forward pass. We're going to throw it backwards 5 metres. Pass is okay. Doesn't go forwards.
James, mate, you've got blood on your shirt. You've got blood on your shirt. I can't touch it. So what's he going to do?
Meanwhile, I think Ryan Shaw is going to have to leave the field to change his shirt by the look of things. Blood on that, so Jack Smith, the referee, instructing him to go and get it changed. So another hold up here.
I've got to hope they've got a shirt that fits him and ready here to roll on. David Hodgson, a former Great Britain winger there, helping him to get it on. One of the Hull Chaos coaching staff, along with James Webster and Glenn Morrison, all assisting Tim Sheens in building what they hope is a Super League side for 2018.
Shaw in his new shirt. There is the Rovers coaching staff.
Ball in, Daniel. Ball's out.
Head and feed to the Centurions. Here is Samisoni Lange looking to burst through the tackles there, but the Rovers defenders were equal to it. Heffernan and Ellis in there.
Surrender. Stand to hold.
48-24 at the Hallowell Jones, a points fest in the sunshine.
Move 10 metres, Matty. Hold, James.
So
Hold.
neither
Go,
defence
three.
on top there. Here's Greg Richards.
I tell you, Danny Addy's got the number of Daniel Mortimer at the moment, though. Wrapped him up yet again there before he was able to play.
Paddison,
5.
that's the 5th tackle.
Hold. Go, 5.
Hood down the short side. And that'll be the turnover just for a moment. Liam Hood sensed there was an opportunity there.
Well, that's the sort of stuff we were talking about. Maybe not on the final tackle, with 20 yards in front of him, but he sensed something. He's a smart player, is Liam Hood.
Wasn't that exactly what Paul McShane did, though, on the last tackle last night at Salford? He had the ability, though, with Zach Heidecker to find that pass and put him through. You do need a hooker, the man behind the play the ball with vision. Sometimes he's got to back himself, take a risk, even if it is the last tackle. Won't always come off, but it's a threat.
Hold, go, 2.
He's got pace as Liam Hood. He was a sprint champion in his school days. And talking of pace, ball in field to Kieran Moss.
High tackle there. Sure, there's contact, was not with the head on the swinging tackle.
Well, there's a penalty anyway.
People back before penalty.
Matty Marsh was on the receiving end of it.
You talk about pace. Any team that wants to play in Super League needs players with pace, and the Hull have shown the transition from one end of the field to the other. They have the speed to trouble the Super League sides who they're going to play in these qualifiers.
So penalty for Hull Kingston Rovers. Still waiting for the first try of the second half. Just that penalty goal from Leigh Centurions, putting them 10-6 up. But here come Hull KR with Chris Clarkson.
Move, goal line. Hold.
Centurions right back on their own try line.
Go, 2.
Lunt, Ellis, onto Marsh. Marsh puts the brakes on and tries to find a hole.
3rd. Move. Line.
Stewart pins him down.
Go, 3.
Lunt, short ball from him. Oh, it was dipping down in front of Danny Addy.
Tackle 4.
And Addy lost momentum there. Marsh. Here is Scruton now.
Surrender.
Spinning.
Stand 5. Go.
Lawler. Ellis kicks across field. And underneath it is Ryan Shaw. Has he got that down?
Well, the referee
Jack
thinks
Smith
he has.
The question will be, where are the feet?
Tackle 5.
Because the ball is grounded.
Let's try. Check touch and goal, and grounding, please, James.
What a sensational catch this could be here to put Hull KR ahead. Great kick from Jamie Ellis. He's in the centre of the field. and he wants it to come down just inside the corner flag. It's gone over Hickson's head, he's misplaced. It's a catch with the ball behind him, a twist and a turn. Is the foot on the sideline before he grounds it? That's the decision that we're going to have to ask for the video referee. I don't think there's a problem with the grounding or the catch. No knock on, the ball hasn't gone into a Leigh player, but is his right foot on the sideline before he grounds this ball? It looks on that angle to be just inside. The referee's given a try, and it's not obvious that this is his foot is in touch.
Right. He's wearing the red and black boots, and I didn't see enough from the angles we've seen so far to suggest that his foot is anywhere else other than still in the field of play, and that to me looks like a grounding. Fair grounding, which would mean a fantastic finish from Ryan Shaw.
Video ref James Child has a good look at that one.
It's on me. Time back on.
And the try is awarded. Ryan Shaw, a prolific season for him, but it's the first try of this second half. His first in the qualifiers.
It's quite a brilliant finish by that man. It's the kick from Jamie Ellis, but once again off the back of some really scratchy, disjointed attack. So they will be really pleased for the efforts of this man. Misjudged by Hickson, he thought it was going out. Shaw wasn't going to take that chance. Gave him the opportunity and left the door open. Well, take a bow. He's kept his feet exactly where he needed to, not a millimetre to spare. But that goes down. Great try, celebrated by the travelling supporters. Scores a level. Jamie Ellis's touchline conversion could put Hull KR into an unlikely lead.
10 points apiece, and Ryan Shaw, who got 2 tries in Rovers Cup win on this ground, gets their first try of the second half against his old club.
Well, there's no
gets
doubt.
the plaudits of those Rovers fans at that end of the Leigh Sports Village Stadium.
Well, every single one of them there behind him knows that that was the catch of the day. And hoping that this kick here can complement it and put them ahead an hour into this contest.
Now Ellis from way out wide, but it looks good. Jamie Ellis, another former Leither, gets the conversion, and Rovers are ahead for the first time in the game.
It just underlines the importance of having a great kicker. Ellis's kick set up the try. He's then converted from the sideline. Kicking, one of the most important aspects of the game now. Kick-off restart causes a few problems for Justin Carney, but he just about takes it in.
It really is a great finish. It's worth making the point again. The side in possession have been great in defence. They've scrambled really well. They've shown great energy and enthusiasm. What they've lacked is final third cutting edge inside their opponent's 20. So when you get the opportunities, the rare opportunities they've had this afternoon, it makes those efforts from the likes of Ryan Shaw all the more important, and they lead for the first time on the hour mark, Bill.
Well, the Leigh fans should have anticipated Jamie Ellis converting that from the sidelines, because in his one season for the club, Ellis racked up 164 points, mainly through his try-scoring feats. He got 34 tries, but he also chipped in with a fair few goals as well. So Rovers ahead by 12 points to 10. Quarter of the game to go.
And all of a sudden, there's a lot of Leigh players walking. It's the difference that a try makes, and the way in which the try was scored against the grain as well. There's precious little in terms of opportunities and looks at Leigh's line.
So Leigh need to rouse themselves, need to respond, having gone behind for the first time in this game. They're just inside their own half as Anthony Maria plays the ball. Here is Harrison Hansen, trying to galvanise his teammates. Drinkwater goes to the air, and Moss, as he has been all afternoon, is good and strong underneath that one.
Good response, Leigh.
Now here's the try scorer in spectacular fashion, Ryan Shaw.
I don't think he could believe it was a try, that he caught it or scored. In fact, when he got back, it was awarded on the big screen. So his surprise and delight. Penalty again now against Leigh. High contact, high tackle. Troubling times here now for the home team. On the back foot.
Well, Hull KR have scored the try. It's a slapping right arm from Lachlan Bear. They scored the try that's taken them in front, and then the composure with which they've executed the set after the try, got to the kick crucially.
Well, it just goes to show you how important possession is. In the first half, Leigh had the majority of it. But in the second half, in this third quarter, from the 40th to the 60th minute or so, Hull KR have had more ball than their opponents, and starting to look now like a decent side.
First, move Anthony.
Well, they're in possession just inside their own half as Lawler goes forward. And looking more confident at the moment than their opponents. They look a bit shell-shocked. A little skip from Maurice Blair, the reigning Rovers Player of the Year, a big fan's favourite. He plays the ball. Got a whack on the nose for his troubles. 4 tackles gone as Addy plays the ball. Here is Scruton. Runs into the challenge of Anthony Maria. Hood down low. Lunt. Ellis dinks that one up. Carney chasing. He was shoved off the ball. It'll be a penalty. Bit of a shoulder charge there.
We see another half-back, number 38 on the field for Hull KR. Chris Atkins come on the field. He's one of the players taken out. Big question now whether they kick at goal here.
Well, it's Lachlan Burr again. He's taken out Kieran Moss, who was on the kick chase. That's 2 penalties conceded by Burr in quick succession. 2 points ahead. Take it out to 4. You feel there's something left in Leigh's locker, though.
I'll manage that, mate.
They obviously decided to go for the sticks.
He's got 1 minute.
Maurice Blair in need of some patching up. As Ellis lines up the conversion.
It's a very deep gash, didn't there, on Maurice Blair. I mean, they can stop that bleeding. They want to do. They need to keep him on the field, but it's a real challenge for the doctor and physio here now, out there on the spot medicine.
Paul, just wait there, Jamie, just wait. So Paul, stay, mate, come on.
Penalty attempt then from Jamie Ellis. Well, he landed the last one from the sidelines as Blair is still being treated. But this to extend Rovers' narrow advantage. Ellis does just that. 14-10. Well, it's cat and mouse, I think, was one of the terms Angela used at half-time. Very much the case.
Well, you see him taken out there. Lots of Leigh players round, but there's much concentration needed by the referee and touch judges here to get this right. He's walking back. The referee stopped the clock here. And the Blur's able to play on.
Just wait, Josh. He's got to change his shorts. He's got blood all over him. He's got blood over him.
We'll stop the game momentarily here now while Maurice Blur just changes the shorts. Blood on them at the moment. Swaps those for a clean, fresh pair.
Getting through some laundry here at Rovers.
Just wait. Wait. Yeah, we're good.
As Drinkwater gets us back underway. And Carney,
First, move, Lachlan Bear.
again,
Hold.
characteristically,
Go on.
rumbling run from the wingman. Not
2.
much finesse.
Move, Harrison, hold. Go, 2.
Heffernan
Cattell, 3.
picks up,
Move.
makes a few more
Hold
meters.
Anthony Lachlan.
Lunt
Go.
orchestrating things. Giving the ref the G up as well, Sean Lunt.
Hold, go, 4.
Blair with the headband. Addy up to the halfway line.
5. Move, Daniel. Go, last.
And then the ball back with Ellis, and Ellis
That's
kicks
clear,
deep.
that's clear. Sean Lunt.
That's another set completed by Hull
Okay,
KR.
now.
They're doing well. They're forcing some play now from deep in the backfield.
Oh, Hickson almost away there, but it was a good tackle.
Well, that's a
from
penalty.
Greenwood, but the penalty is conceded.
It's a penalty that you almost accept giving away, because a quick play the ball there, and you've got Leigh players streaming through a fractured defence. You're going to give up 20 metres, maybe 30 here, but you're going to be facing a defensive line.
It feels a long time since Leigh have been in a great attacking position. Perhaps this might be the start of it. Patterson gets them into their opponent's half, but you are looking for some creativity, some gal. Maybe Greg McNally getting in on the end of some play and providing the pass that very often the set-up Leigh tries this year.
Anthony Maria then, 40 metres out, plays the ball. Quick hands and Samisoni Langi, and he gives Ryan Shaw a piggyback.
Go, play on. Second 3.
Drinkwater now. Lachlan Burr, he likes to do that. Flings the ball backwards, and Mortimer gathers, but territory lost in actual fact. Mortimer pinned to the ground. Hyam, Maria. That's the 5th tackle. It's with Drinkwater. Drinkwater fires the pass at Teliave! And the Centurions hit back. And Ateliave powering onto that pass. Gets his first try in the qualifiers, his 6th all told of the season.
You can almost trace it back to the penalty at the other end, wasn't it? It was a relieving one that got Leigh springing forward into the opposition half, and the Centurions have been good this season, having big men crashing over from close range. It's a short pass, a soft one, to invite the back rower at close range to use leg drive, push through the first defenders and make sure he grounds the ball. It's almost impossible for the defenders at that range on a stationary position to stop the man. Their only task is to try and hold him up or turn him to his back. They were incapable of, and it looks as though the Centurions may take the lead here.
It was the line that they run as well. Really uncompromising line, right on the inside shoulder of Matty Marsh. The half-back defending 3 in from the edge. Josh Drinkwater knows where those defenders are and asked his back rower to run the line, and they got the rewards.
And Drinkwater can put the Centurions back in front with this conversion, and it's in off that post. They do go back in front, 16-14.
Just look at the line, soft hands there. It's the line against the grain. And then look at the kick. Well, sometimes you need a little look. He'd hooked it a little, got on the inside. In off, they're worth the same. 16-14. Tim Sheen sending them to instructions now. And presumably that will be get to the end of the next set, get a kick away, and pin this Hull KR side away from our try line.
So the clock running down here, and the Centurions narrowly back in the lead, 16-14. Ateliave, who's held that second row position for the last 4 games and has been in a good run of form. He was one of their try scorers in the win against Salford that lifted them off the bottom of the table in the last round of the regular season, the Centurions, and set them on a good run into the qualifiers.
Well, when the administrators dreamt up this concept of a qualifiers where the teams from the lower division played the ones from the upper in a 7 or 8 game contest, really, to find out who deserved to be in the top level, I think this is what they had in mind. A game that goes into the last 10 minutes, evenly balanced with 2 competitive sides, unsure either set of supporters whose day it's going to be.
Well, Rovers aren't done yet. Still 10 minutes coming up on the clock.
And the Rovers were in this situation, or similar to it last week, behind until just less than 5 minutes from the end when Nick Scruton crashed over from close range. But farther out now, they need to get closer to the other end, but they've got the players, the experience, and I think the skill and patience to wait. They know 8 minutes, 9 minutes can be a long time in a game of rugby league.
They know all about last-minute drama. To Hull Kingston Rovers. Painful last-minute drama.
Play on, still 5.
The kick
It's okay.
is charged down, and Mortimer is able to pounce on it and return it.
It's a gambling play by Chris Atkin. I admire a player who'll take a risk. He's attempted to chip it over, picking up a loose, scrappy pass at the end of the set. He's fallen to the ground. I mean, he didn't receive great service with the ball.
Here's Harrison Hansen now, and the Leigh Centurion supporters looking to galvanise their side in this crucial closing phase of the game. Just ahead, Mortimer. Another strong performance from the new recruits.
Tackle 4, time off. We're going to have to get that cut sorted. It's the second time.
And there's another player in need of patching up.
Tackle 4,
It's Maurice Blair, isn't it? And the blood. We thought that the physio and doctor would struggle to stop that. It was a deep gash we saw from the view of it, just above the eye.
That's not the way we've seen it.
In his third season with the club, Maurice Blair.
Sure.
And he is a really durable competitor. He's only missed a handful of games in his entire Rovers career. Showing the scars today, needing more patching up. And Leigh, with their fans behind them, making a bit more noise than the Rovers fans for the first time today, maybe feeling a bit happier about life. Well, don't count your chickens yet. But they're on the attack now. Little kick comes in, and Patterson going for it, but it's tied it up. I think it was Ryan Shaw.
Great kick by Josh Drinkwater, doesn't he? Runs at the defenders. He's got Corey Patterson steaming alongside him. Hulkier unsure whether it's going to be a pass play or a kick one. Kieran Moss does remarkably well to get there and safely, bravely ground the ball in his own in-goal area, which should just give Leigh the ball back again. I think another try to the Centurions, and it is game over. And Hulkier are fully aware of that. If they've got any energy left here now, they've got to use it in these next 60 seconds to stop Leigh scoring.
It's a tense end to this game. The pace hasn't been the greatest in this match. Very stop-start affair. But it's building to a really nerve-jangling climax. Only the second game in the qualifiers, but so crucial. Every game matters of the 7. And Leigh looking for back-to-back wins.
He feels right in what he says. Hulkier simply must keep Leigh out in this set of 6.
Mortimer finding a way through. Atelier looking for a second. He's held up just short. It was Carney, I think, who made the tackle. There could be in here with Fleming, is it? He's stopped just short as well. Leigh that close. Mortimer once more. Lachlan Burr. Drinkwater. The kick comes in. And Rovers survive.
Just by the skin of the teeth again, Bill. Some real last-ditch stuff. Some excellent
that ball's
stuff.
Been spilled. It's a penalty.
Oh, well, that's 6 and 2 threes as well. And Mickey Hyam has taken issue with Jack Smith. He feels he's been old-manned. It's a loose carry. It's a loose carry. And James Greenwood gets the benefit of the doubt. And Hulkier get the benefit of the doubt. That set was massive in defence. Phil, you mentioned it. You tipped it up after the dropout, and the repeat set simply had to defend that, the most important set of the game. They did. Let's see what they can do now in terms of attacking and asking questions the other end of the field, because they've got points to find.
Lunt plays the ball. They're just inside their own half now.
Move! Hold Lachlan, 2, go.
Ben Kavanagh plays the ball. Ellis. Here is James Greenwood now, straightening it up and then upended Greenwood.
Go, 3.
Lunt, Atkin, Moss looking for an outlet, but there was nobody there, so he plays the ball. Lawler now. Here is Chris Atkin, once of Swinton. Jamie Ellis, long ball over the top. Shaw has to reach for that, and then Shaw gets the ball back. Shaw will cut in field, looking for some support. Ellis was arriving, but Shaw is tackled just short of that try line. Ellis puts a little grubber kick in. And it's pounced on. It's Corey Patterson who pounces on that.
Well, it was Andrew Heffernan who actually released Ryan Shaw down the side. Then a last tackle kick here. Jamie Ellis attempting to kick for his teammate. Puts it through the gap, but Corey Patterson, in his attempt to stop the ball for Scruton, knocks it on. And Hull KR have gone from one end of the field. There's a brilliant interplay with the centre and winger. And Ryan Shaw thinks he can go through Greg McNally. He's unable to. Leigh survived. The referee stops the clock. Some more injuries. Physio's on the field again. Just over 5 to go. You get that feeling that his next try wins this game.
Well, they've done extremely well to put themselves in that position. We saw that creative interplay between Heffernan and Shaw. Ellis with the kicks forced the error, but it all came the back off that defensive set, having conceded the dropout. Drinkwater's kicked through. Kieran Moss had to tidy up under the pressure from Corey Patterson, and it's given them the opportunity and given them the shot. Will they take it?
Head in, Ryan.
Head and feed then to Hull KR. 10 metres out. Ellis. Here is Lunt. Chris Atkin. Really talented young player. Plays the ball. Scruton, the hero of last week's win over Halifax, plays the ball just short. Lunt will try and win it for his side. He's over. Has he got it down? And Lunt. Has he got his second of the game? Drinkwater implores the referee to go to the video ref. Jack Smith says we've got to try. Lunt could have won it. But has he got this ball down? He's confident. He's always confident.
Well, we saw what he could do in the first, definitely. He's ridden almost through 3 or 4 tacklers, and that to me is a legitimate try. I cannot see how the Leigh supporters or the Leigh players can argue with the video evidence there that confirms the referee's gut reaction.
Sean Lunt's second try of the game. In the closing minutes at the Leigh Sports Village, has put Hull Kingston Rovers just in front. They're not home and dry yet, but what a time to come up with a try-double. The irrepressible hooker.
And again, it's against unset markers. A playing a ball from Scruton that caused problems. It's not just vision, it's strength, real strength. The eyes told lies. And then even post-tackle, and McNally, there's a question there.
It's a question about the play of the ball. It's appalling, isn't it?
The video referee cannot check that at the point at which the ball is in play. Sean Lunt makes the very most of it. Hull KR fans extremely happy. They've seen their side grow throughout this game. Jamie Ellis gets the chance now to maintain his 100% goal kicking record today and take this advantage out to 4 points.
Ellis, 3 from 3 for him. He's on target. Rovers are on target. Rovers, the Kingston Press Championship League leaders, Shield winners, are on course for victory over a Super League side. Only 6 times has a Championship team beaten a Super League one in the qualifiers. Look at Sean Lunt. Urgency about him. There's been urgency about his performance this afternoon. He's got 2 tries, and Hull Kingston Rovers are on course for a massive, massive win. And it's a big setback for the Centurions. You need to win your home games in the qualifiers. An away win is such value, such a highly prized result.
It's absolutely massive for them. And against Super League opposition, yes, Super League for 1 year, and yes, back in the qualifiers, but Super League opposition. Crucially and importantly, Atkin takes them to the end of that set, makes Leigh work, makes Leigh hustle, makes Leigh rush to form a scrum so the referee can mark time off.
You stop the clock as Jack Smith. There is Chris Atkin, came here from Swinton, the former England Students International.
Amazing season for Chris Atkin. It's only a relatively few weeks ago that he was playing for Swinton against Huddersfield in the Cup. A remarkable victory that was for them, and his career now finds himself here playing in intense qualifiers against the Leigh side, who need to do something very special inside the last 3 minutes here to avoid embarrassment.
Kavanagh is restored. Such a cramp.
Sean, come on. Sean. In, wait for me, Daniel. Ball in.
So head and feed to the Centurions. They're going to have to come up with something spectacular in the last 3 minutes here if they are to deny Hull Kingston Rovers.
Sorry, Bill, you feel like they're going to have this, probably one other set, and they're starting from deep as well. Making good yards, and they're playing now as perhaps where they wouldn't be earlier stage in the game. 3 tackles gone already. KR's job half done in this set.
The kick over the top for Higson to chase. It's come off Ryan Shaw. It'll be head and feed, will it, to the Centurions? It is. Again, they rush to form the scrum.
Well, they felt as though perhaps he was almost pushed into the ball. The referee stops the clock again. Ryan Shaw's disappointed.
No, I have no problem with that. If you're making a play and moving towards the ball, if you're shielding the ball, if you're acting as a buffer between the opposition and the ball, I think that's fair play. I think that is played at.
So nervous times for those Rovers supporters who are anxiously counting the seconds. They had a nail-biting time at home against Halifax last weekend. This qualifiers is not good for your health if you're a Hull KR supporter, and there's still 5 games to go after this. Mortimer. Who else but Lunt making the tackle? Hyam with the darting run. They're right in front of those posts. It's Stewart, and they're penalised. Desperately trying to stop Glenn Stewart. Hyam now. Drinkwater.
Move. Hold. Go on.
Hyam once more. Will it be another hero hooker? He's just short. They're going for it. And they're held up. It's Drinkwater. Up back on the 10. Rovers fans urging their team on in defence. Now they're going to go wide. Wide it is. Oh, and Dawson couldn't take it. Applause from the Rovers supporters.
Well, he's had to take a risk, hasn't he? Thrown a speculative pass, hoping that Dawson can get on the end of it and
it's come off
his magic.
It's come off Rovers. Has he given head and feed?
Well, surely it's a knock-on though, isn't it, Bill? Can't quite see which way the referee's indicated this, but it appeared to go forward, didn't it?
Well, it's just the speed with which Centurions rushed to form the scrum there.
No, it's already a knock-on from Dawson.
Dejected Centurion supporters now.
And mission accomplished for that man.
That coaching cabal. Don't give up, there's time.
Oh, and there is time because that ball's been spilled. It's gone forward, and now they will pack the scrum quickly.
John, there was ages left. Can't believe you've got ready to get in the car, John. 36 seconds to go here. Okay, I know everything about the final 60 seconds of a match from last year. It was agony. Will it be ecstasy if they can cling on here now inside the last minute?
How did that come out? Moss just seemed to squirt from his grasp. He's agonised there. And head and feed to the Centurions. Last 30 seconds or so. Samisoni Langi. Good defence. Heffernan it was. Down low, they get another penalty. Anything goes at the end here for Hull Kingston Rovers. 20 seconds. Leigh piling on the pressure. Bang in front of those posts now. They'll lie on as long as they can here. They get another penalty.
Time's up.
The referee stops the
These lads, you want a
clock.
warning?
6 seconds.
Time back on.
Hyam takes the tap. Little grubber kick comes in. Oh, he's gone behind. Samisoni Langi couldn't get it down. Rovers celebrate. And Leigh came so close at the final play of the game. But Sean Lunt and his team, at times they have been on their knees in this game. But now their fans can celebrate. Again, it's been last-minute, nail-biting stuff. And again, they've come through. The referee heads for the dressing room with his officials. And Rufus celebrates. The players celebrate. And Leigh are downcast. It's 2 from 2 for Hull Kingston Rovers in these qualifiers. And how valuable will this win be? How valuable is this man, Sean Lunt, man of the match with Angela?
Congratulations, Sean. You had to have nerves of steel at the end there.
I know, yeah, we've done it all year. Do you know, last week we made it hard for ourselves in this week, but it just shows you the testament to the characters there, the steel of the boys to hold Leigh out there at a fantastic side. And yeah, like I say, I'm over the moon right now.
Your opposition coach called it a game of chess, and it really was that kind of game.
Could you say that again? Sorry, I can't hear.
It is very loud. It's like a game of chess, and it was who held the nerve at the end.
Yes, it was. I thought we started brilliant. You know, our defence was awesome, but like it just showed you their class when they broke through from nothing and scored a try. So we knew when they went back in front, we said to the boys to settle down. We've been behind before in the game, and we've come back and we've done exactly that. So yeah, I couldn't be proud of the boys.
One step closer to swapping places with maybe Leigh, but getting back up to Super League.
Oh, look, we're not worrying about that. We just got one game at a time. Do you know what I mean? If we go and lose the next 5 games, this counts for nothing. So let's just take 1 week at a time.
And listen to them behind you.
I know, they've been fantastic. They've been like that all year, so it's a credit for them. And like you say, today was for them guys as well.
Congratulations. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Angela. Cheers.
2 tries for Sean Lunt in this Hull Kingston Rovers victory. How precious will this be? Leigh Centurions 16, Hull Kingston Rovers 20, the final score. A nail-biting finish to the game, but Rovers held their nerve. And they have a 100% record. Their battle to regain their Super League place is on course. It's a setback for the Centurions. Whoa. Well, coming up next on main events, it's EFL Championship action as Middlesbrough take on newly promoted Sheffield United. That is next. And Super League action. Look at that. Castleford against Wakefield, 7:30 on Sky Sports Arena. And Leeds against St Helens on Friday night, 7:30 for that one as well. So 2 big games from the Super 8s. Qualifiers action as Warrington face Halifax, and Leigh must pick themselves up and travel to the Catalan Dragons. It's a party here for the Hull Kingston Rovers players and their supporters. Are they on their way back to Super League?
Sky Sports. Feel it all.